Now, you obviously can't talk about the Pogues without talking about Fairytale of New York. And the exciting thing, you helped co-write the song, which is
I
pretty
did.
pretty interesting. So yeah, like what how did that song kind of come together? Because it sort of took a while for it to reach that final product.
It did. Yeah, it took a long time. I mean, initially, Shane and I decided to write a Christmas song, a duet. It was suggested to us that maybe it would be a good idea if we covered a song by the band. You know, the band who
Yeah.
played with Bob Dylan, who did some Christmas song, and we said no, we if we're doing a Christmas song, we're going to write a Christmas song, and so we started writing a Christmas song because we that's what we'd do. We'd sort of write stuff and get together and see if what worked and so on. So we both started writing a Christmas duet. We decided it would be a duet, and I wrote a song with quite a good tune, but with pretty lousy lyrics. And I played it to Marcia, my wife, because I'd always play her stuff, see, you know, hoping she'd go, "Oh, that's really amazing." Anyway, on this occasion, she said, "That's really rubbish. The lyrics are really, really stupid, and they're not anything to do with the Pogues." You know, she said, "You should think, do you actually even know what the Pogues are? Because if you do, and you think about Christmas and you know what Christmas is, you would come up with something completely different." And I said, "Okay, well, you give me a give me an example then." I was being a bit defensive, and so she sort of told a story about, said, "Okay, just look around, people we know, like take a couple, they've got no money, it's Christmas, there's all this pressure on them. The guy's an asshole, he's always pissed, he takes the money, he goes gambling, he doesn't win. Maybe he does, but then he spends more on the booze, etc." And then they have a big fight, and everything gets even worse. And then maybe, just maybe, there's some redemption at the end, and um, something works out. Maybe he does win a bet, and he actually goes back to the woman, and he's got her a present, and everything's happy for Christmas. But in these circumstances, so that. So I wrote another song with that plot, if you want to call it that storyline. So so Shane liked that idea of a story, and also the tune from the first song, which is the kind of more Irish melody that's in the first Irish melody in the song. And he rewrote, he sort of transposed the location of the story to New York, and wrote it in his inimitable style.
Hmm.
I mean, I never wanted to write lyrics for him to sing. If I wrote lyrics, they were just there as a goad, really, for him to make them better. Um, I love his lyrics, and actually, in later times that went a bit wrong because he started to actually really like my lyrics and want to sing them, uh, and sometimes that really worked. Like, I think "Misty Morning Albert Bridge" turned out amazingly, but um, I actually went back to purposely not writing so many lyrics when we got to make Hell's Ditch, because I thought that's the way to get him to write the lyrics. So, I'd just have a few I might have a bit of a chorus or something, or just a title, something. Anyway, going back to Fairy Tale. So yeah, he put it. He had been writing something which was the slow piano intro piece, and that fitted in with the story and the fast piece I'd written. And but then it the band wasn't really good enough to play it. We just had a lot of trouble really making it work and all fit together, all the bits of it. And it took a long time to get the lyrics to settle down. Shane worked very tirelessly editing in those days anyway. Maybe in later years he'd just write something and think it was fine, but in the first few years he was really kind of tireless editor and kind of perfectionist. And so that took time. And then when we had an arrangement and a version we were happy with, we'd try it with the band, and and then we'd try and record it, and it just didn't sound right. So it just took a while, and eventually, we found ourselves in the studio making the third album, which was about 2 years later, I think. And Steve Lillywhite had this brainwave, which I don't know why we hadn't thought of it before, of recording it in two parts. So the slow piano introduction, and then we did the rest of the song, and then he just cut them together, and finally it worked. And then the rest is history, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And was it because it reached number 2 in the UK charts, so it was a very big success for the band. Was it surprising for you that it did that well?
It wasn't surprising, but the thing is, there's never any guarantee, however great a song is, there's never any guarantee it's going to actually even get heard.
Mm-hmm.
So, the world is full of amazing songs. No one's ever heard them. And the world's full of really rubbish songs, which are hugely popular and successful. And it's just having that little bit of luck that they get the right exposure at the right time. So, with Fairytale, it was fine margins because at the time there was in this country, there was a top 40. And if you weren't in the top 40, you got very limited radio play. If you're in the top 40, you'd get probably played maybe 2 or 3 times a day. If you're in the top 10, you'd get played maybe 5, 10 times a day. So it's very important, like when a song comes out, that it gets into the top 40. And I think the first week it came out, it got to number 39. If it'd been 41, no one may have ever heard of it. So, on the one hand, yeah, given the quality of the song, because we always felt it was something really special, I'm not surprised that it's had this life and, it's got this timeless quality like most of the Pogues music. So it's not surprising it endures. But, the deciding fact, it could have gone either way, like I say. So,
Mm-hmm.
fortune favored us.
For sure.
And it got to number 2, that's fine. I mean, number 1, it means nothing.
Yeah.
I really don't. At the time, it was a bit disappointing, I suppose, because people were saying, "Yeah, it's going to be number 1," and it's like, "Wow, we're going to be," and like. But yeah, that it is what it is.
Yeah. It's the one thing I do like about it is the fact that despite being I think like it's a song you can listen to no matter what time of the year it is. Like it's still a Pogue song
Yeah.
first, and then it just happens to be set during Christmas, I find, which is
Okay.
why it's a great song to listen to.